Deadlock is an evil game. Not just because it's a MOBA, but also the people too. You know, you got stuff like this that happens.
There we go, there you go. Let's see. Dude, this is not normal. I'm expecting to get called. Oh, there you go. There we go.
We got it.
Oh, he said it. Oh shit.
The double.
That
You are all bearing witness.
Hold up. Can we guys kill can we go to kill this fucking Infernus and teabag him right away? Kill him and teabag him right away. Teabag him.
That was Pete. Gargoyle something.
Good game.
Good game.
I will neither confirm nor deny my participation in these events, but the underlying point is Deadlock is an evil game. If you're not familiar, Jesse Levine has this great tradition known as Deadlock Tuesday where everything goes horribly because we're playing Deadlock. It is simply the tools of the trade right there. You know, you play a Deadlock game, you may have a good time, and then you may have someone probably about to start slinging slurs right here. Yeah, no, the likelihood of that happening is actually very high. All things considered, you know what? Maybe I thought this was Valorant where, you know, everyone just insults each other or says, like, I hate you or something along those lines. But nope, the slur-singing slasher is back on Deadlock. I mean, well, that's how you know it's a Valve game. But there's a cultural importance to Deadlock Tuesday. You could almost think of it like a holiday. So why do you go through this cycle of going on to this terrible, no good, very bad game that I cannot stop getting on and playing with people shouting horrible things at me? It's because Deadlock Tuesday, it's what's keeping us safe. The other week I had this thing where I did Deadlock not just on Tuesday, but almost every day of the week. And something changed. Suddenly, Deadlock Tuesday went from being a nice holiday where, you know, you get together and you get kicked in the face, to then everything going to absolute garbage and whatnot. The worst day was Deadlock Wednesday. It was awful, terrible. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong in this moment. It was like a sign that maybe I invoked the wrath of Deadlock for this. And it is true, the wrath of Deadlock was invoked, because Deadlock can only be played on Tuesday. I've talked about Deadlock being a holiday, but I ever talked about the mythos behind Deadlock Tuesday. So first, let's start off with the little Jesse Levine right here. You know, we gotta draw the little stick figure. Classic stick figure. I don't like that arm. That arm's kind of garbo. But I gotta do two arms like this, and then we gotta go for the classic Jesse Levine from video games helmet right there. You know what, let's just make it hexagon for funsies. Gotta add in the funny. Yeah, there we go. Then some funny horns. Bada bing. So whenever Jesse Levine starts to cue a Deadlock game, suddenly there's this thing, the goblin from Deadlock. The evil goblin from Deadlock. Gotta give the goblin clothes, obviously, because we're not disgusting here. Goblin. And we gotta give him red eyes because the goblin is evil. Now you see the goblins looking right at Jesse Levine video games, watching, ever waiting. And you know, let's just draw this like little goob right here. We'll call this the Deadlock queue. So this goblin is able to see right at the Deadlock queue. Now, here's the little thing right here. Think of it almost like a wall of some kind, the Deadlock queue right here. Yeah, there's like a little wall. You can almost think of it like a thing from Frogger right here. Now, the goblin has these evil laser eyes that shoot right at the Jesse Levine from video games right here. Now, this is all part of the mythos right here. then Jesse Levine from video games suddenly has irritable bowel syndrome. And, this is going to be our poop right here. But not just irritable bowel syndrome. Suddenly, these things also affect other people too. There's a little bit of poop right there. And so the goblin can only shoot the laser eyes at this angle right here, which is just enough to clip the helmet of Jesse Levine right here. So multiple lasers can be shot out at a time, so they only last for 1 Q. Now the problem with that being said is, so say you have one bad game, then boom, you get hit with another bad game, boom, you hit with another bad game, and the poop, well, it just spreads out everywhere. It just goes all over the place. Why does the goblin give you irritable bowel syndrome? Honestly, I wish I could tell you. Why does Zeus exist in, like, the gods of Greek and whatnot? I don't know. Like, there's something with Titans and things like that, but why did the Titans get there? I don't know. Something primordials or something. Why did the primordials get... It goes on and on and on. So the goblin just simply gives you irritable bowel syndrome. And now you notice these gaps in the ozone layer right here, but when it's Deadlock Tuesday, suddenly the wall is completely filled. Except that's a lie. We all know that's a lie. Of course, it's not completely filled because you're playing a stupid MOBA game. So now the skill shot the goblin has to make at you to give you irritable bowel syndrome is much harder than it was before. It has to do a really good Vindicta flick on you to actually give you irritable bowel syndrome. That's the power of Deadlock Tuesday right there. Now, the reason why the ozone wall queue time fills up more is because on Deadlock Tuesday, that's the day I stopped dumping car batteries into the ocean. So you see Jesse Levine's hands out right there. So now let me show you the little car battery that Jesse Levine's been carrying the whole time. There's the car battery. Yeah, maybe Jesse Levine shouldn't dump car batteries into the ocean. But you know what? Who else is going to help give fish the electricity they need for their homes right there? I mean, what do you think Victor Deadlock does all day besides dump car batteries into the ocean? On Tuesdays, the day I usually buy car batteries, all things considered. So the wall is actually quite nice on Tuesday. And so on Wednesday, when I usually go and dump my car battery, suddenly the wall got weaker. But I don't really understand it that much. It doesn't really make that much of a lickety-split of sense. It's kind of like why there was the goblin here in the first place. No idea. It just so happened that the goblin made everything so much worse, I queued up on Wednesday after Deadlock Tuesday, and it was awful, horrible, some of the worst games of my life. I thought, this is the end. Finally, I'm done. There is no more Deadlock anymore. It was that bad. And afterwards, I have a greater appreciation for Deadlock Tuesday, because now I know we don't play Deadlock Tuesday just to have fun. We play Deadlock Tuesday so that every other day of the week does not become horrible. A giant pile of poop.